You ever notice how saying, I don't know, can feel strangely good? Not inspiring, good. Not motivational poster, good. Honest good. Like finally setting down a heavy bag you didn't realize you were carrying. Your shoulders drop, your breathing slows. For a moment, your mind stops trying to solve, fix, or predict. There's something relieving about admitting uncertainty. It interrupts the performance. It removes the pressure to appear certain, decisive, or in control. It allows you to step out of the role of the one who should know and simply be human. Now compare that to when someone gives you a very confident answer, fast, polished, decisive. They say it like it's settled, like there's no nuance left to explore. And instead of relief, something in you tightens. You nod. You smile. You might even thank them. But internally there's resistance, a quiet sense that the answer feels too clean. Maybe it's your partner explaining your feelings back to you. Maybe it's your boss declaring what the right move is. Maybe it's that friend who always has a strong take on everything. Or maybe it's you jumping to conclusions about your own life. But here's the psychological truth. Uncertainty, when it's grounded and sincere, often feels more trustworthy than false clarity. When someone says, I'm not sure, thoughtfully, it signals something important. It signals they aren't trying to dominate the situation or collapse complexity just to feel in control. They're acknowledging reality as it is layered, messy, unfinished. Think about what happens when you ask a meaningful question. Not trivia, not logistics, something that carries emotional weight. Is this relationship fixable? Why do I feel stuck? Am I making the wrong decision? If someone answers instantly without pause or curiosity, it can feel jarring. Even if their answer sounds logical, something about it doesn't sit right. Your brain doesn't only evaluate content, it evaluates process. It tracks tone, timing, and emotional congruence. When a complicated question gets a simple answer too quickly, your nervous system senses a mismatch. Too fast, too certain, too tidy for something that clearly isn't tidy at all. Some people equate certainty with competence. They believe strong support means providing direction quickly. Often this comes from discomfort with ambiguity. The brain wants closure. It wants to eliminate the uncomfortable open loop. But closure isn't the same as clarity. When someone skips over uncertainty, they skip over your experience. They may offer a solution, but they don't sit with the weight of the problem. And without that shared pause, the answer can feel disconnected. Then there's the over-explainer. You ask one question, and they deliver an entire framework. They dissect it from every angle. It sounds intelligent and impressive, but emotionally, it can feel distant. Sometimes over-explaining is a defense against vulnerability. It replaces feeling with analysis. The brain builds structure to avoid sitting in the discomfort of not knowing. The more airtight the theory, the less room there is for humanity. We tend to trust people who admit limits. I could be wrong. There's more to this. I don't have the full picture. These phrases don't signal weakness. They signal integrity. They communicate that the person isn't pretending to know more than they do. There's also the pauser, the one who doesn't rush. You ask them something real, and they sit with it. There's a beat of silence. Maybe it feels slightly uncomfortable, but then they respond slowly, carefully. That pause communicates respect. It tells your nervous system this isn't about performance. It's about understanding. People who tolerate uncertainty often regulate their emotions better. They don't feel compelled to resolve ambiguity immediately. They can sit in incomplete information without panicking. And that steadiness feels safe. But this isn't just about other people. It's about the stories you tell yourself. There's a part of you that craves certainty, the part that hates ambiguity, the part that wants a label, a verdict, a clear storyline right now. You don't know how someone feels, so you decide they're not interested. You feel lost, so you conclude you're behind. Something goes wrong, and you turn it into a permanent pattern. Those conclusions feel solid. They give you ground to stand on, but often they're about relief, not truth. False clarity reduces anxiety by freezing the narrative. It closes the loop. It trades openness for control. Even if the conclusion is painful, at least it's definite. Real uncertainty keeps possibilities alive. And possibilities are uncomfortable. They require patience. They require that you tolerate not knowing how things will unfold. False clarity narrows your future. Uncertainty keeps it open. Then there's the meaning maker, the person or part of you who can say, I don't know, and that's okay. Not dismissively, but grounded. I don't have clarity yet, but I'm paying attention. They don't interpret uncertainty as failure. They see it as part of the process. As people grow emotionally, their tolerance for ambiguity increases. They stop demanding immediate coherence from complex experiences. They stop rushing to conclusions just to soothe discomfort. They develop humility about what they know. And that humility feels trustworthy. Because honesty isn't about sounding certain. It's about being congruent. The response matches the complexity of the situation. Nothing is being simplified just to create comfort. So the next time someone says, I don't know, and it feels grounding instead of frustrating, notice that. The next time you rush towards certainty just to quiet anxiety, pause. Ask yourself whether you're seeking truth or relief. And the next time you're sitting in uncertainty about your life, your relationships, your direction, consider the possibility that not knowing isn't a failure. Maybe clarity is still forming, and forcing it too early would only distort it. Maybe you're not lost. Maybe you're just standing in the honest middle of something unresolved. Where does false clarity show up in your life? From others or from yourself? And what might shift if you allowed uncertainty to stay a little longer? Sometimes I don't know isn't confusion. Sometimes it's the most psychologically honest place you can stand. And maybe that honesty is what builds real confidence over time, not the loud kind, but the steady kind that doesn't need to rush toward answers just to feel secure. The kind that trusts understanding will emerge when it's ready, instead of forcing conclusions just to escape discomfort. The kind of confidence that can sit in silence without feeling threatened, that can admit limits without feeling diminished, and that understands growth often happens in the space between questions and answers.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Hit the like button if this helped you.